Welcome, it's Denome, and welcome to this crypto update. Now, as you can see, the price of Bitcoin made an all-time high here at $108,000. But from there, the price started to fall very quickly, and we came down 9% to the downside. Now, this move quite surprised me because we got all of the bullish news. We had the MicroStrategy being listed in the Nasdaq 100 and a lot of more new news that I will cover very, very soon. But Bitcoin still continued to fall down. The reason why it fell down is because of S&P 500. So when we take a look at the S&P 500 index, you can see that we fell down from this market structure. And we had a very, very large bearish red engulfing candle. So 3% one day move to the downside, a massive move. This is the largest one day move post Fed meeting since March of 2020. So this is a very, very significant move. And because we broke out of the market structure, I would expect that maybe we have some relief here, but I do expect that the S&P 500 index continues to go down. And unfortunately, when that happens, that usually drags the price of Bitcoin, the price of altcoins with it. So that's very, very unfortunate. I made a separate video basically calling that the S&P 500 index has met its all-time high already. And for now, we are looking for a decline on S&P 500. So this minus 3% move might be the beginning of a bigger move to the downside on the S&P 500 index. I don't know how low it will go. Depends on obviously the amount of money printing that they will do, the amount of stimulus and all these things, how they can turn things around. But that will probably fall on Donald Trump eventually. Now, in the short term, it remains to be seen if we see a relief rally here or we just continue to go down. So if you want to take money out of the crypto market, you have a little bit time here, or you could wait one more day to basically see if we have a relief here, and then I would expect that the Bitcoin price would recover as well. Now, why did the S&P 500 index fall? Why did the Bitcoin price also fall with it? Is practically because of two reasons. The first reason is because the Federal Reserve, they actually cut interest rates. And normally this is bullish, but this time it was not, because it was followed with a couple of announcements. The first announcement is that they will do fewer and slower rate cuts in 2025. And that caused some people to panic. So that was the first situation there. Now here, Virtual Bacon, he made an analysis here, so I'll just read it. I don't agree with all of it, but let me just read one thing. So we did get the rate cut, and I thought it was going to be bullish for the markets, but it wasn't, because it was followed with this one here. So the Federal Reserve continues to sell assets, which means that the money printer is not fully online as of now. So because of this, the prices started to fall down. Because for the market prices to continue to go up, we need more liquidity in the market. And when the Federal Reserve says that they will continue to sell assets, that probably causes people to panic a little bit. And when we take a look at the global liquidity, when we take a look at the money supply, M2 money stock of all countries, and we dollarize all of the money supplies on the planet, we can see this chart here. So this is the money supply of the world. And you can see we have been on this trend line for quite a while. And now we are out of this structure. And that is quite scary in my opinion, because this could signal that we will get a deflationary bust of the whole financial markets. And if that's the case, that will be a 2008 level market crash. So this is the first signal here that things are not okay. And the Federal Reserve, what they need to do is they would need to inject a lot of liquidity into the markets right now. And like when you take a look at how long we have been going sideways with the same liquidity in the world, we have been here since 2022. So this is bad, because as you already know, Bitcoin is at all-time highs, S&P 500 is at all-time high, but the liquidity has practically remained the exact same since 2022, since the bear market bottoms. So unless we get new liquidity, the market simply cannot push higher. So this is the scary part here. And I just wanted to share this massive, massive, massive crash indicator here with you guys before the crash actually takes place. But in the short term, it's not as scary. So when we go and take a look at the fundamentals, actually, before we look at the fundamentals, there was another reason why people panicked, and that had to do with this paperwork here. So what this was a spending bill for the United States Congress, and usually they pass these spending bills at the end of the year during Christmas time. Nobody really has time to dive deep into this. The people had, I think, 19 hours to read through 1,500 pages, and there was a lot of madness inside this $100 billion spending bill. I'm not gonna say all of it. There's a lot of analysis, all of the silly things that were in there. For example, the Congress wanted to increase their salaries by 40%, and a lot of money into useless causes and all these things. So Elon Musk, he took it to himself to basically kill the bill. So he practically made a massive social media campaign, and he was able to basically hold the bill for now. And he is now saying that no bills should be passed in Congress until Trump is in office. So as of now, this basically means that the government will go bankrupt, and they will go on a holiday if they cannot get money to run the government. It will cause the government to basically go on pause. When that happens, obviously people panic a little bit, so they might sell their stock and all these things. So this scare here, because they blocked the $100 billion money printer here, I think that was one of the reasons why the markets also took a tumble. But before all of this madness here, we saw a lot of bullish things. So let me cover these as well, and then we will take a look at the fundamentals. So MicroStrategy, they bought another $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. Obviously nice. This was on December 16th. Then another public company called Semler Scientific bought $21.5 million worth of Bitcoin. Again, quite nice. And Tether, they invested in Stabler to promote stablecoin adoption in Europe, because Tether, the EU has basically said that European citizens and exchanges in Europe cannot use Tether because it is unlicensed. So I think that's why Tether is bypassing the sanctions, the regulations with Stabler. So some form of Tether maybe in EU as well in the future. So again, quite bullish. And then when we take a look at just in the past 12 hours, today, Mara Holdings, which is a Bitcoin mining company, they bought another 1,777 Bitcoin, worth $181 million, while everyone was panicking during this price move here. So even though we see this massive drop, there are still buyers in the market just buying Bitcoin off the market. So that's basically all of the things that were happening during this time. And now let's take a look at the fundamentals. The most interesting thing that I saw is when we take a look at wallets that have 1,000, 10,000 Bitcoin inside them, they basically bought the move right before Bitcoin went to all-time high here, $108,000, and then they sold the absolute top there. But who bought the top? Those were the 100 to 1,000 Bitcoin holders here. They have bought the top, but a lot of selling was taking place here. And when we take a look at the who was selling here, this is the chart here. So when we take a look at different wallets, how long they have held Bitcoin, we see a lot of orange here during between 100 and $110,000. So that is wallets that have held Bitcoin for more than 90 days. So practically short-term holders were selling this top here. Not long-term holders, even though long-term holders were still taking profits, but the profit taking has considerably slowed down compared to what it was for these long-term holders when Bitcoin was between $90 and $100,000 here. So a lot of profit taking, unfortunately, and but that was for short-term holders, which is not as bearish in my opinion as if it was the long-term holders that were selling here. More stable coins are being minted, which is nice. The funding rates are still good, which is good, nice, as well as when we take a look at the Bitcoin supply on exchange reserves, this continues to go to the downside, which means that there's more demand for Bitcoin than there is supply on exchanges. So this is bullish in the long term as well. So all of these things are happening at the same time as we saw this madness in the United States government. So keep this in mind before we go to the final analysis. But for now, let me just give you a quick analysis for leverage or the liquidation data. So when we take a look at the exchange liquidation map, this time I'm using a different view than before, but it's basically showing the same thing. And what we see here is that we see a lot less liquidity below the current price range. Maybe the price can go to like $97,000. That could be a chance, but there's just a lot of short liquidity above the current price range, practically going all the way to all-time high here. So this is where all of the liquidity is above the current price range. So as long as the S&P 500 doesn't drag Bitcoin price down, it will immediately spike back to the upside. It looks like Bitcoin wants to go to the upside based on this data here. Also, when we take a look at the order book liquidity, there's something very interesting to see here, and that is obviously when we compare to the green bars compared to the red bars. A red bar means that there are more limit orders on exchanges than there are buy orders. When you see green here, then it means that there's more buy orders than there are sell orders on the order books. And it doesn't immediately mean that the price will have a reversal, but it means that there's a lot of buy pressure to keep the price steady. And at the bottom here, we saw a lot of buying here. So this is a good signal that the buyers are ready to snatch up Bitcoin if the price goes down. And at the moment, at least at this price range, we do not see a lot of selling for the continuation of this move to the downside. Maybe we, like I said, maybe we see a move to like 98k, 97k one more time, but that might be the bottom of this local bottom here. At least as of now, not a lot of limit orders in the sell mode here. Now, it is the market orders eventually that will move the markets, but at least as of now, we're not seeing a sell wall forming at these price ranges. So it might signal that we might start to liquidate these short positions in the short term. Now, going back to the charts here, looking at the short-term data, it is looking good in my opinion. So like I showed you here on the 4-hour chart, we had this bullish divergence on the RSI, which is nice. We are still inside this channel, which is also nice. But as you can see, there is a little bit of wiggle room to go to that 98k low, or even wick a little bit lower to hit those $97,000 liquidation prices there. And from there, I would expect that S&P 500 will have a relief rally tomorrow. After this massive move to the downside, we go back to the top here. Maybe we make a double top, and that it may be an area where you want to take off profits, because there's a lot of uncertainty in the markets right now, and especially altcoins don't look that dandy at the moment. So Bitcoin, what we may be looking at right now is the final stages of this bull run until Trump takes office and he implements the Bitcoin strategic reserve. Because once that is implemented, even though the whole market goes down, if the United States government starts buying Bitcoin, Bitcoin may just completely outperform everything else in the market. Even though everything else is crashing, Bitcoin might still continue to go up once that is implemented. But before it's implemented, there may be a chance that Bitcoin might just consolidate here. And the lowest I see Bitcoin go is if we break below this current price range here and we make a lower low below this $94,000 low here, then we might look for like $83,000 price range, or even like $75,000 around this price area here. Now, I don't believe we are headed that way. That's just something that that is a possibility. If people really start to panic, the government goes offline, and and people want to sell their stocks, because the stock market, that is the driver. And unfortunately, I don't want to be on board of that drive, but I have to be on board of that drive because it will affect all of the prices, altcoins, Bitcoin, all of the other prices as well. And when we take a look at total three market cap, so this is the altcoin market cap. So we take everything except Bitcoin and Ethereum and stablecoin market caps, and we bundle them all together. And what we can see here on the weekly view is that previously on 2017, sorry, 28, yeah, 2017, 2018, when we had the peak in the uh, altcoin market cap. Then we had a massive dump here, and once we overtook that previous top, then we continued to go to the higher 3x compared to the previous peak here. But right now we are, or we touched the top of this previous high here already from 2021, and right now we did not break through it. So it would make a lot of sense that since we have this uncertainty in the markets, that altcoins don't perform as well. Unfortunately, I was hoping and I thought that the rate cuts would boost the altcoin market, the MicroStrategy buying would boost the market, MicroStrategy being added in the Nasdaq 100 list on December 20, I think it was 23rd. When it will be added there, altcoins will also rally to the upside. Bitcoin dominance chart looked very, very good, but all of those kind of got broken. And now when we take a look at the total three here and we go to 4-hour view, the price is below this trend line here. Unfortunately, we did not make a lower high yet, so there may still be a chance that altcoins will have another rally to the upside. But as of now, the problem with altcoins is that the retail investors don't have extra capital to spend. It's not the same as in 2021, 2020, when people were showered with stimulus capital. People had to stay at homes, and crypto was this new hot thing, and there was all this yield farming, all of these new crypto coins, NFTs, all this newness that people just wanted to gamble with their money because there wasn't much else to do. But now people are in debt, the inflation is too high, people cannot afford their living expenses, and it's winter time. So there may be a chance that altcoins unfortunately do not have a strong recovery to the upside. So even though Bitcoin looks good in the short term, unfortunately I cannot say the same for altcoins. So altcoins don't look that good to me. And for example, if we take a look at some individual altcoins like Cardano, for example, what you can see here on a 4-hour time frame, or even in the one day time frame, you can see the left shoulder, you can see the head, you can see the right shoulder, and this is a classical top of the bull run ending pattern, which is the head and shoulders pattern. So Cardano doesn't look that good. It did not break the neckline yet, so it may not it may not happen, but this is not a formation that you want to see at the top of the market. So there are some other altcoins also that have charts like this, not all of them. So some altcoins may still do good, but some altcoins you probably don't want to invest in, like Cardano for me looks absolute horrible. So uh, consider that. Now I could be absolutely wrong here once again, but this is simply my analysis of the market condition at the moment. Altcoins not looking that good. So when we take a look at the Bitcoin dominance here, in the previous update, I showed you that if Bitcoin price goes above this high here, it has gone basically back to this zone here. That is a signal that maybe Bitcoin will continue to outperform altcoins. And unfortunately, I was wrong on this chart here, and I lost a bunch of capital investing in altcoins. But it is what it is. I don't like it. I wish it wasn't the case, but it is the case. Now, again, these are simply arbitrary lines here. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin wouldn't go back to here and we have a massive altcoin market, but it just doesn't look like altcoins in this amount of uncertainty want to go higher as a collective. Now, individual altcoins may still do good, but overall altcoin market doesn't look as good as it was before we made this new high here and the markets just started crashing. So in summary, in the short term, I do believe Bitcoin might have a nice bounce to the upside, but you may want to consider cashing in some profits in these potential pumps, in this potential relief rally. But if the S&P 500 continues to go to the downside, then unfortunately, I think all of our bags will just go deeper underwater. So that's basically it for my update. Now, if you want to trade these markets, if you want to use professional tools, I personally do leverage trading on Bybit. It's the best platform for leverage trading. If you use the referral code denome, you will get 10% discount for your first 30 days. You will get up to $30,000 in welcome rewards. And if you use the airdrop link that I will put under the top comment, you will be eligible for a 500 USDT position airdrop, and you simply have to click this button and do the tasks, and you will be receiving this airdrop here as well. Now that's it for this update here. Thanks for watching this video. Consider liking and subscribing to the channel. I will see you on the next video. Thanks and bye bye.